Okay, this is about politics and martial art organizations and schools. Okay, I'm going to start with like this. I don't like politics and martial arts schools or organizations because it can lead to bad situations. It can take out all the fun out of what you're doing, and it can cause a lot of people to quit and go off elsewhere. Okay, now what I mean by politics, I don't mean like who voted for who's going to be in the White House or who's going to be the vice president or any of that other crap. That's not what I mean. Politics, what I mean by it is who can stab who to get a higher position in the organization, who can do more than others, who can look the best, who can make the most money. And a lot of organizations will, like organization I left a short time ago, that's what it was all about. They turned their backs on what they originally taught us, and turned their backs on the lessons of the masters, and it became all about the money and who could be top dog of the show. And they added more ranks to the rank system. They changed up the rank system, so instead of going backwards, go forwards, they were a belt factor anyway. I mean, they held testings every 2 months, and they test you whether you were ready or not. And they fixed it where a lot of people got screwed in it once they changed the rank system, because a lot of people that would be going up for master or grandmaster is having to wait several more years longer because of the change in the system. And every time when something new, a new policies come out, they either they gotta buy a new student manual, a new policy manual, well, instructor policy manual, and the forms or katas, whatever you want to say, has changed, so they gotta go back and learn them, the new ones. And every time, like, they've added things like BJJ in it, and Korean sword systems, and a bunch of this fad stuff into what their original program, and added extreme forms and all that crap into it, so they could charge more and charge things as separate. And these are people doing that have only trained a year or less in these things, and they're coming out with videos and charging everything, arm and a leg. And I mean, yes, things to a certain extent has to be run like a business, and you do have to make money to make a living. That's unfortunately how things are at this day and time. But when it becomes to the point where you're not really learning anything, and you're having to the point of where you gotta stab your best friend in the back to get anywhere, and you're having to do everything you can just to get a good position in the organization, and they're charging for that position even once you earned it. The fun is gone. And in school situations, it's, you got your students, then you got, well, what I'm going to talk about for a second is the same as in organizations as well. You got your token students, and then you got your favorite students. So that's the regular students, then you got your token students, then you got your favorites. Okay, like for instance, a token student, a friend of mine, we came up and training together. We went through the instructor trainee program together, and he was in our area the only certified instructor who was an African American. At that time, I ain't 7 years, but at that time he was very talented. He was very good. But I mean, he worked hard, but instead of really earning what he got, everything was given to him because he was African American, and I don't think that's right. My point is, you should work hard for what you get. You put in the time, the effort, the learning, not just in the schools, but out of the schools, going to seminars, training camps, this, that, and the other. You put in the time and you give it your all, then you should get what you earn. But now going backwards, go forwards. The students, okay, everybody is a student in martial arts. That's how things are. I don't care what rank you are. You could be somebody just been to one class all the way up to Grandmaster and so on. Then you got your favorite students. Okay, I've seen people have favorites where they just put them above everybody else, which I don't think there should be any favorites whatsoever. I think everybody should be treated the same. I mean, the respect should be there across the board. But there should be a difference between the black belts as far as respect goes for them compared to lower ranks and the respect they get. But respect should be there no matter what. But there should be no favorites, because showing favoritism can cause dissension amongst the other students, because if they get the idea that this person is over here is a favorite and the other students over here are looking at the ones they think are the favorites, they're going to think they're getting things that they don't deserve, and it can cause to losing students, or well, it can lead, well, it will lead to that, and it can cause other problems. So the whole concept shouldn't even be there. But my point is, long and short, keep politics out, because you got, well, going backwards, go forward. Sometimes I have to do that. When you get these people jockeying for position and organization, and it can get to the point where it's like the Good Old Boy Network. If you ain't within the Good Old Boy Network, nobody else gets anything, and it only circles within a certain group. I think that should stay out of the business and out of martial arts, because everybody in training tries to be the best they can be and make the art. Yeah, you have to learn the whole the system, and it is your foundation, but you try to, I mean, you have to come up with variations on the techniques and stuff, because that's what you try to do, is learn a technique, try to come up with variations, and try to figure out what the masters originally meant and how they were used. But when it's long and short, I had a brain fart, but long and short, just keep it about the training, only the training, the relationship between the masters and you and the students behind you. Other than that, keep it only that. Everything else, get rid of what don't need to be there. It's like economy of motion. What don't need to be there, cut it out. So, like I said, keep it only what needs to be there. Get rid of politics. Keep it fun. My next video will be a subject I tried to stay away from, but sometimes it keeps smacking me in the face, so I'm going to have to deal with it. I've been a subject I've been coming back and smacking me in the face since the late 80s and 90s, and that's religion and the martial arts, the good and the bad. So that will be the next video, and I will post it soon. But that's it for this video. Remember, keep the politics out.